Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Hey, this is Tyler with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and this is Foul Pole to Foul Pole Daily. Hey, welcome into today's episode. Today is November 10th, 2023. I'm Tyler with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Whether you're here on YouTube or you're checking us out on the audio side, we appreciate you. If you can do me one favor, make sure you're subscribed or you're downloading these episodes. That really helps us push this content out, opens us up a little bit more to the algorithm. So please do that for me. Today we're going to get into the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. We're going to talk about some of the matchups. We're going to talk about some of the early season, preseason games that are taking place out there in Cathedral City, early in the season. I mean, we're talking the end of February is when this thing kicks off, and there's a lot of good matchups that we're going to get into. Also today, we're going to talk about having a winter reset. As the season sort of winds down for everybody, there are a few tournaments left this fall, but as we start rolling towards December, softball outside sort of slows down a little bit, and rightfully so. It's time to take a break. We'll talk about a mental reset, and then we'll talk about sort of a physical reset as well. And then at the end of it today, we'll kind of get into that pursuit of perfection and having a healthy pursuit of perfection. So, all right, let's jump right into it. The Mary Nutter, if you don't know about the Mary Nutter, it is a tournament. Well, it's not even a tournament. It is sort of a preseason, almost like a round robin, if you will. There's a bunch of teams that are going out again this year in California. Teams coming from all over. You got East Coast teams, West Coast teams, teams from the South, teams like a Nebraska, Oklahoma. You got Nebraska that's got Jordy Ball now, recently transferred from Oklahoma. You got teams from the ACC like a Notre Dame is going out there. The SEC is represented well with teams like Tennessee. So we are looking forward to some of those big time matchups. I think for me, the biggest matchup is going to be Tennessee and UCLA. UCLA last year sort of stumbled there at the end, losing their first two games in the postseason and getting knocked out pretty quick. Tennessee's coming back strong. They were very good in the SEC last year, and the SEC is a powerhouse. I mean, you as a conference, as far as softball is concerned, we're talking Georgia, we're talking Alabama. Perennial powerhouse type teams there. Tennessee is right there with them. Softball is huge here on the East Coast. Both the ACC and the SEC have got some very talented teams. Notre Dame is looking to keep pace with last year's effort and looking, trying to keep pace with Florida State. Clemson's right there nipping on their heels. So it's good to see those teams getting out there on the West Coast early in the season at the Mary Nutter and competing. There are a lot of good matchups, not just the Tennessee and UCLA matchup. I mean, we're talking early season type stuff with some big matchups between teams like Baylor and Notre Dame. Baylor last year beat some teams that I don't think people thought they were going to. You have the Oregon State matchup with Notre Dame as well. And I like the matchup UCLA and Baylor. I think both of those games with UCLA playing Tennessee and UCLA playing Baylor, I think that's really going to give UCLA a test going into the season. And you can't forget teams like Cal State Fullerton when they play Mississippi State. You've got a good competition coming out of the SEC going to Cal State Fullerton or going up against Cal State Fullerton. Northwestern and Oregon State also have a matchup. And anytime you get teams like Bethune-Cookman out there able to play and compete against teams like Oregon State and BYU, it's good. It grows the game. So I would be looking for an upset, maybe looking at an Oregon-Nebraska upset, may even see a Nebraska-UCLA upset. So Nebraska's going out there, and they're going to be able to compete. So 2 games that I'm looking forward to is the UCLA-Nebraska and the UCLA-Tennessee. I guess I just like UCLA. But anyway, you know that softball, as far as college softball is concerned, they are wrapping up their fall ball season, as should you. I mean, you're finishing up your camps and stuff like that. But we're talking about resetting in the wintertime.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
A mental reset as well as a physical reset. So mentally, go ahead and assess how your season went. You know, Coach Tyler here, Black Diamond Softball, we talk about breaking our stuff up into seasons. So you have a spring, summer type season, and then you have that reset, and then you have a fall season, and then you have a reset. So just like you did before you went into the fall season, mentally assess your goals, where you were at, some of the stuff you achieved, some of the goals you're going to have to readjust, and some of the goals you just flat out failed at. Maybe you wanted to pick up 5 miles an hour on your fastball this year and it just didn't happen. Reassess that goal and set it again, or adjust that goal. It is what it is. Okay. Maybe you wanted to add about 5 or 10 pounds of muscle and you didn't. Okay. Well, let's put that goal into our winter workouts. All right. For that reset physically, if you've got some nagging injuries, man, if you've got like a pulled muscle, or you've got some tendonitis somewhere, or you've got something other that's major that's going on, take some time off. You know, for my multi-sport athletes, you know, maybe you start your softball or your wrestling season a little bit slower so you can recover. Maybe you can't go into it full bore, and that's fine. You are a scholar athlete that has a future, and your future isn't right now. I know it's hard to hear that, but you have a future that if you don't take care of your mind and your body now, that future's not going to be here tomorrow. So with your winter reset, get into some mental training. Get into whether it's an audio book, whether it's a paper book, whether it's some mental training videos or something like that. It can't hurt to hear someone help you or talk to you about understanding what's going on around you, what's going on, your feelings. Okay. You don't have to talk to anybody. I'm not saying that you got to go out there and, spill all the beans to somebody, but just sort of listen to someone else talk about their history and their past and some of the stuff that they've gone through, so that you can kind of relate to them and see how they worked through some things. And maybe it's not something that's happened to you in your past, and maybe it's not something that you're going through right now. But as you get older and more experienced and more mature, start getting into those college ranks, maybe you'll have sort of a head start on how to combat some of those issues, okay? So we're always worrying about the mental state over here, always working towards that confidence, having high self-esteem. With your winter workouts, set goals, man. Set your goals. I talked to a couple of girls the other day and asked them, say, hey, what you doing this winter? I don't know yet. And it's like, okay, well, why not set them now? You got December, January, and February. You got about 90 days to where you can really make a change in your game. So, get into the lab. People talk about getting into the lab. Go ahead, get into that mental lab first. Write your stuff out. That's one thing, man. If you write it out, it's a little bit easier to make it be concrete. So set your goals, do your thing. And first and foremost, have fun with it. So set some fun goals, set some long-term goals that you can achieve. All right. As we start getting out of the winter season and we're getting into the spring, the pressure ramps up with high school ball in most areas. I want to talk about that word perfection. We pursue perfection all the time, it seems. Everything we do, we try to be perfect at. And it could almost cripple us. It could almost paralyze us in many different ways. Just last night, I was working with a young athlete and we were hitting. and she was kind of, I wouldn't say stiff, but she just wasn't letting herself go. She wasn't, she was holding back. She wasn't swinging as hard as I like for her to swing, because she was trying to get the drill perfect. And we started slow with the drill. And then as we ramped up, I kept having to remind her that, hey, quit trying to be perfect with this. Let's just put the barrel on the ball and work through this feeling. And then you'll get better at it as you go. So don't jump out into a brand new drill trying to perfect it. Don't do something brand new thinking that when you're with your instructor or you're with your team that there's going to be some criticism or there's going to be some flack you're going to get if you don't have it perfect. Hey, there's not an instructor out there that wants you to be perfect. If you were, they wouldn't have a job. Okay. So this pursuit of perfection that you have, I get it. I understand where it comes from. I was the same way. In a lot of ways, I still am the same way. But if you only focus on that, then you're not going to see the progression. You're not going to get that confidence as you start making adjustments and you get better. So give yourself that leeway of not being perfect. Okay. I tell girls all the time, yeah, we shoot for perfection, but it's okay to fall to greatness. So when you're doing your winter workouts, set your goals high, have lofty goals, set them up there really high. I want you to compete and get better, but I want you to understand too, you don't have to be the rabbit in the race. You can go about it slowly and get there over time. You don't have to be there right now, because that can really shake your confidence. Okay. I know a lot of us get our confidence from the results and we don't focus on the preparation to get our confidence from. And I tell girls all the time, you could crush a ball into the gap and it's a great hit, but the center fielder makes a dive and catch and you're out. You're looking at the result as you getting out. You're not looking at that preparation of what got you there to barrel that ball up, to put it into the gap, to do your job. Once the ball's hit, it's out of your control, right? It's just like when you pitch, you could hit a great spot. It is a great pitch. Your rise ball moved 6 inches and it's a great pitch, but she also put a great hit on it. So she did her job. You did your job. The result is the result. So don't take confidence from results all the time. It is good to have, results driven confidence at times. But if you put all your eggs in that basket, man, you're taking your confidence and putting it in somebody else's hands because you can't control the outcome. It's just like an umpire sees it as a ball, but you throw it as a strike and it's a good pitch, but he didn't see that as a strike. So the result may not match your preparation. So failure is okay and not being perfect is okay. Enjoy the progress that you've made over the years. Don't worry about that you're not at a certain point just yet. You'll get there. Okay. So with these winter workouts, set your goals. Don't focus so much on that perfection. And don't forget about the Mary Nutter coming up in just a couple of months away, about 4 months away. It'll be on us really quick. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's a little bit shorter episode. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Find us at Foul Pole to Foul Pole. You just type in at Foul Pole to Foul Pole over there on YouTube. We will link that down in the description below on the audio side as well. Check us out on the audio side. If you're watching us on YouTube, check us out over there on the audio side, whether you're getting your podcasts from Amazon, you're checking them out on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts at, we're over there as well. So take it with you on the road, maybe the airplane. There's a bunch of episodes over there. We just wrapped up talking to my good friend Alden. That episode will be going out later on this week. We are recording with Valerie Austin as well. So we've got a lot of stuff going on the podcast. Please check that out. It helps us out a lot. Share it as much as you can. Find somebody that you like it, that may like it. If you do share it, make sure you share it with a friend. And when you do, you tell them you love her.